Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Marie. Today I would like to introduce you to the beautiful country which I live in, and that is Denmark. And I recently inherited this beautiful old map card over Denmark. It is from 1665, so it's a very old card. I'm not sure it's an original from that time, but this is how the people imagined or mapped out Denmark at that time. It looks a little bit different now, but it's pretty close. So let's start. Yes, first we have Sealand here, which is where we will find the capital city of Denmark, and that is Copenhagen. It's a very beautiful and cozy capital. It has a lot to offer. It is also the biggest city of Denmark, and it is probably the place that has the most to offer when it comes to cafes, restaurants, and theater, opera, things to enjoy as a tourist in Denmark. But I feel like most tourists don't get to see all the other parts of Denmark, which are also so incredible. But Copenhagen is definitely a treasure too. And this is also where you will find the statue of the Little Mermaid. And very famous is also Christianshavn, with all the very colorful houses and the canals. And it is definitely worth a visit. Many tourists come there and experience that. You will also find many royal palaces in Copenhagen. This is where our king and queen resides on Amalienborg. It was the queen lived there, at least. Yeah, she lived on Amalienborg, and we just got a new king. The old queen gave over her throne recently in January to her son, King Frederick. He was then Prince Frederick, and he is now the king. And they have a castle in Fredensborg, so a little outside of Copenhagen. I don't know much about the royal family, I have to admit. I don't know if they have now moved into Amalienborg in Copenhagen or if they still live in Fredensborg. Yeah. Lovely family. They have 4 lovely children, princes and princesses. Yes. So, many beautiful things. It is a rushing and exciting metropole, like all other big metropole. I mean, metropole like London and Paris. Fashion Week also goes on there. Yeah, so Denmark is fashionable. It is very known for their fashion designers and all that. So, very exciting city. A bit too big and rushy for me. Too many people, too much traffic. It's not really my thing, but to go there for a visit from time to time is always nice. In Copenhagen, you will also find Tivoli, an old amusement park. It is very old. It has existed all the way back since the time of Hans Christian Andersen, which we, of course, all know, the famous fairy tale writer. And it is one of the oldest amusement parks in the world, and very special and beautiful. It is absolutely worth a visit to go there. So if you are coming to Denmark, then make sure to come in the summer, both because the weather is nice and because Tivoli is open then. It is, of course, closed in this season, for example. Although they do open at Halloween to make a special Halloween Tivoli experience, which is also very cool. And in Copenhagen, we will also find Kronborg Castle, which is the castle of Hamlet, where Shakespeare was inspired to create Hamlet. And he was, and this was supposed to be the castle of Hamlet, Kronborg Slot. Castle, slot. Yeah, castle is slot in Danish. So, and to the region of the capital city of Copenhagen, we also have Bornholm, which is an island all the way out here, little island. And this is a very, very special place. It has a unique nature, and with rocky cliffs and a special beauty which is not found anywhere else in Denmark. So I have never been to Bornholm. I would love to go. They have also their own special dishes and own special traditions, which all parts of Denmark does, even though the distance between the different parts of Denmark is not very big. There is still many different dialects and traditions, which makes this country very interesting. Now, the different dialects were more pronounced earlier. Now, between young people in Denmark, we speak more and more the same, but in the olden days, when people didn't travel as much around, everyone had their special characteristic dialects and special traditions, which they still keep this day to day, the traditions especially. They also have these special white round churches over there, which also are not found anywhere else in Denmark. And they have very peaceful and cozy little villages, which are really so special to come and visit. So maybe one day soon, or maybe in the summer first, I will go there and I'll make a little video vlog from Bornholm. I would love to do that. So apart from the region called Copenhagen, we have the whole of Sealand region, which there are many different interesting towns to visit also. Like there is Roskilde, which was a former Viking capital, and Roskilde Cathedral is also where many old Danish kings lay to rest. So it is a very special place. I have also never been, but I would love to go. Maybe do a whole Sealand road trip. That could be fun. In Sealand, you will also find the Viking ship museum, which is very exciting and beautiful and fascinating, of course. So, a lot of history there. Viking history to be found in Roskilde. And a very magnificent place to also visit on Sealand is Møns Klint. It is full of white chalk cliffs, and you will find a beautiful view of the Baltic Sea here. And overall, you will find many beautiful coastlines, many beautiful castles, and green villages all over Sealand. And let's now travel to the region of southern Denmark, which also includes Funen here and Langeland. Yes, long country. I don't know how you would say it in English, but in Danish, Langeland, which means long country. Yes, and Funen is of course where Hans Christian Andersen, the famous fairy tale writer, he used to live. You can go and visit his childhood home there. It is now a museum and decorated exactly as it was when he used to live there. So this town is filled with old fairy tale charm. I would always like to go there. I actually plan on making a trip there soon to visit my half-sibling, half-brother, Morten. He lives there, so I could visit him and take my son to see Hans Christian Andersen's home. I would love to do that soon. Yeah. So I am just waiting for some good weather and a day off to do that, and then I could make a little video vlog from there. It would be a great experience, and I would love to take you with me also. We have been reading many fairy tales here on the channel. If you haven't seen them, go watch them. They're really incredible fairy tales, all of them. I love them so much. So, in region southern Denmark, and that would be southern Jutland here, we also find Ribe Domkirke. Ribe is Denmark's oldest town with cobbled streets and Viking roots. Just amazingly charming, and it really takes you back like 100 years or 200 years back to some different times. So very fairy tale like, and a lot of history there. You will also find Dybølmølle. Dybølmølle is a symbol of Denmark's 19th century struggles and resilience. Yes, Dybølmølle, worth a visit, very interesting place and a beautiful testament to old days and old history of Denmark. And I could just go on about southern Denmark. This is also where Prince Joachim, the little brother of the king, he lives in Skagenborg Castle. And also the old queen, the queen mother, lived in her castle in Gråsten when she was alive. She doesn't live anymore, so I don't know what has happened to Gråsten Slot, Gråsten Castle. Who lives there now, I don't know. She died some years ago. Yes, and he is married. The Prince Joachim is married to the French Princess Marie, and they have, I believe, 2 children together. He was formerly married to a Chinese woman called Alexandra. She was half Chinese, half American, I think. And they have 2 beautiful sons together too. Yes. So also so much beautiful nature in southern Denmark, southern Jutland. And it is also a great mix of German traditions and then Danish traditions with food-wise. But most famous is the Sønderjysk Kaffebord. Southern Jutland coffee table, which is a magnificent, big feast of cakes. special cakes that you don't find in other places, like brødtort, which is a layered cake, with rye bread. Yes, more rye bread, even in cake. And I have never tasted this, I am ashamed to say, because that is supposed to be very, very good. And I can only imagine how it tastes, with lots of cream in between the layers, and then rye bread as the cake layers. So, a unique invention. Absolutely must try. Yes. So, now let's go to the region of Middle Jutland. This is where I live. Yeah. Here. Mid-Jutland. Yes. And this is, of course, where we find Aarhus, my town where I live. And it is the second largest city of Denmark. So we also have a lot to offer here in terms of experiences like museums, theater, great restaurants and cafes. We have a very youthful nightlife here because we have a big university here. A lot of people from all over Jutland come to Aarhus to study. So the nightlife here is full of lively spirit and young people, very young people. And it's just a very energetic vibe here because of all these young people. And we also have a beautiful, beautiful coastline, beautiful beaches, beautiful forests, beautiful nature. And speaking of beautiful nature, we also have in region Mid-Jutland, we also have the little nose here of, like you can see, Jutland looks like a little leprechaun. And this is the nose, and this is the hat. So here, just north from Aarhus, is where you will find Jutland. We call this Jutland, which is like a half an island. And Jutland has its own very unique nature. And I go there a lot. We go there a lot. It's not very far from where I live, so I'm very blessed to have such incredible nature experiences so close to where I live. And in Jutland we have something called Mols Bjerge, very unique nature. And this is actually the spot. There's a spot called Jernhatten in Mols Bjerge, and this is the nature spot that inspired Tolkien for his stories of Ringenes Herre, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I actually made a few video clips of this nature spot to show you here on the channel when I was visiting there this summer. I never got to make the video actually, but I can show you here some of the spots. And also this close to Jernhatten and Mols Bjerge, we also have an extraordinary cozy little town, very old town called Ebeltoft. And this is like also like being taken back into the 1800s again. This is such an old-fashioned town with beautiful old charming buildings. They have a rich life of restaurants and boutiques, and it is especially lively in the summer. A lot of people come there and visit in the summer to experience this beautiful little town. And I personally come there at least once a year to enjoy the beautiful town of Ebeltoft. And actually they have a festival, an apple festival, because actually eble, it means apple in Danish. Ebel, it's not actually spelled exactly the same. But anyway, in Ebeltoft they are having Ebel Festival, because this is also the season of apples in Denmark. Beautiful apples, delicious apples. So I plan to go there in this week for the Apple Festival. Apple Festival. I've never been before, so that will be a fun experience, I'm sure. Oh yes, and I didn't actually finish talking about Aarhus, because of course in Aarhus you will also find Den Gamle By, the old town, which is a museum of Aarhus many years ago. All history, how the buildings were and the traditions. You will learn a lot about Danish history and culture by visiting the Gamle By. And the old town is actually what it's called in English. Many tourists come there. And it is very charming and very cute. And you can go inside all the little houses and see how people were living back in the day. And they have recently made a new section of the park showcasing how people lived in the 60s and 70s. But most of the buildings are, and the way the houses are decorated are all from all the way back to the 1600s and 1800s up to there. So yes, it shows all different stages of time. And also worth a visit in Aarhus is Moesgaard Museum, which is an old museum where you can also learn a lot about Danish history and all kinds of archaeologist finds that have been made here in Denmark. Most famous for that place is probably Gravbillemen, an old mummified man found on the bottom of a lake and was mummified. I don't know exactly the history, but he's very old. I don't know exactly how old, but yeah, you will find out if you visit. But many interesting finds, archaeologist finds, you will find at Moesgaard Museum, and it is located out to the sea with a beautiful ocean view of the sea, and you can actually walk all up to the highest point of the roof on this building, Moesgaard Museum, and you can look at the very beautiful view up there. And the Moesgaard Museum in overall is a very beautiful place, with beautiful forests and beautiful beaches. And they also have a very beautiful castle there, and with a beautiful garden, very peaceful and green. I go there a lot in the summer. And they have the cutest little old restaurant, which is called Moesgaard Mølle or something like that. Moesgaard Mølle. I don't remember the name right now. But you can get traditional Danish dishes there, like smørbrød and layered cake and coffee and all the most traditional Danish foods. It's really, really just encaptures the true Danish feel to go there. So I have to recommend you that. It is a unique and special and beautiful place. And in mid-Jutland here, you will also find a very beautiful town called Silkeborg. Silkeborg, in the middle here of the country of Jutland, Silkeborg. And Silkeborg is also a place that I come a lot because they have the most beautiful big woods and lakes there, beautiful nature. And I like to go hiking there. When you come to Silkeborg, you should also enjoy the beautiful town of Silkeborg and the nature, and you can go on a little boat ride in the lakes. It is very, very beautiful. Or you can also rent a canoe and canoe around the lakes. A beautiful nature experience that is absolutely worth seeing. It is so green everywhere, especially in the summer, of course, but also very beautiful here at this time of year when everything is brown and yellow and orange everywhere. So I love Silkeborg. Beautiful place. And very unique and compared to this side of Jutland. Even though it is so close, it is completely different. Also here in Jutland you will find the highest point of Denmark, which is Himmelbjerget. And it's translated, it is the sky mountain. The sky mountain, but it is actually not a mountain at all. It's just a hillside. So, but there's an incredibly beautiful view up there, and a beautiful route, or the route that you can go up the Himmelbjerget and look at the beautiful view up there. I have come there a lot, both as a child and as an adult with my own children. They have also cute little souvenir boutiques. They once also had pony rides for children, and I don't know if they have that anymore, but I took my children pony riding there at one point, and you can enjoy the beautiful scene up there, and you can buy ice cream and souvenirs. A cute little place to visit, the highest point of Denmark, which is a very flat country. So it's not even that high up. You can easily walk up there by foot. So that was Mid-Jutland, which is the part of Denmark that I, of course, know the most about. But the place that I am next closest to is Westjylland. Here. It is here. This is where I used to come as a child on holiday. It is also, it's the west coast of Jutland, and it is a beautiful scene, beautiful nature, the west coast. And I enjoyed my summer holidays there every year when I was a kid. My grandfather on my father's side had a summer house there, Lærkebo, where we all used to stay in the summer. And my grandfather lived also on here at the west coast. So I recognize that special dialect. of people that come from that area. They speak very different, not as different as in southern Jutland, but also very different, especially the older generations. Yes, and yes, you will enjoy the beautiful sandbanks. This is also the area where there are a lot of summer houses and a lot of tourists, especially German tourists. They come here, so you will hear a lot of German all around when visiting this part of Denmark. They just love this part of Denmark so much. And those dear German people. So I remember that as a child, that when walking into stores, there were so many German people speaking German. And beautiful summer houses there, and beautiful seaside. A lot windy, very big waves, like no other place in Denmark. The waves can get so incredibly big here on the west coast. On my side here, where I go to the beach, there's not as much wind and big waves as there is here on the west coast. So it was dangerous to go and bathe there sometimes. We didn't bathe a lot actually over there. So we went hiking in the sandbanks and enjoyed the views and the nature. And of course visited my grandfather's farm. He had a little farm with animals, which was very exciting. And if you go there, you can visit Hvidesande and Torsminde, fishing villages where the sea meets the fjord. Yes. And Lemvig, a small harbor town with a relaxed coastal charm. And Thy National Park, Denmark's first natural park filled with dunes and heath and silence. And you can also find many old bunkers on the coast that is from the World War II, as reminders from that time of the World War II. And many of them are halfway buried under the sand because of the strong wind. So it is they're all over the coastline, these bunkers from the World War II. My older siblings loved to walk into these bunkers and explore them, but I always thought it was kind of scary and not very comfortable to be reminded of those awful times. So now I'm going to move on to the region of northern Jutland. Yes, this is where you find the highest point of Denmark, where the two seas meet and splash against one another at this little tip. This is also called Grenen. Yeah, Grenen, yeah. To visit this. And also you will find Skagen, which is a very, very unique and beautiful place. Skagen is famous for its beautiful and unique light, and which inspired many artists in the 19th century. We have the famous Skagens malere, Skagen painters, and these Skagens malere were very inspired by the impressionistic art form from Paris and France at that time. So they were impressionist painters that really painted with the light, is what they say. and you can visit the museum, the Skagen's museum. You can find these incredible paintings of the Skagen's Maler. They were a whole group of famous painters, very famous in Denmark. And it is amazing to see these paintings and see how everything is so lively. Everything comes so much to life because you can sense the light in the paintings, the beautiful sunlight. Yes, incredible paintings up there to see. So I will really recommend you to come there. So it is a very popular place to come and have a summer holiday, especially for many of the wealthy people from Copenhagen. Maybe businessmen and women from the richest people of Denmark usually lives here in the northern Sealand, and they often come here to have their summer holidays in Skagen. Many of them do. So it is famous for, in the high season, in the summer, there is very much life and a lot of commotion and a lot of tourists. So it's a special place to go in the summer. Beautiful and unique, very much. And I have been there, and it is absolutely incredible. Oftentimes also the weather is better up there in northern Jutland, all the way up to at the tip of Denmark. The weather is more spectacular and better than in the rest, than the other parts of Denmark. Unusually, I don't know why, but that is the case. Yes. So Skagen is the most popular place to visit, but there is also Aalborg, which is, I believe it is the fourth biggest or the third biggest city of Denmark. Aalborg is also a very charming city with a lot to offer, like clubbing and going out, cafes and discos, and a wild nightlife. So I have heard. I have never been out in Aalborg, but they are known to have a very wild nightlife up there in Jomfru Anegade, Virgin Anne Street. Yes, I recommend maybe not going there. I don't know, but if you have children, but and also Aalborg is of course famous for their snaps, the very strong alcoholic drink snaps. Aalborg Aquavit is also what is this called. That is all manufactured there and is famous all over the country. Yes, a traditional Danish drink, snaps, which we drink with sill and other dishes. In northern Jutland, you will also find Rødbjerg Lighthouse, a lighthouse half buried in drifting sand, standing against the wind. And you will find Lindholm Høje, an ancient Viking burial ground overlooking the fjord. So, and Aalborg also has a rich Viking history and past. So many sights to see. Much more than I have time to mention here. So many beautiful places to explore in Denmark, and I have not even gone through them all here today, so you have a lot more. There's a lot more in store for you. I plan when the spring comes along, I do plan to go around all over Denmark and make some video diaries, some vlogging videos, and show you more of the beautiful sights here. Yes, so I hope you found inspiration to come and visit Denmark very soon. Maybe I will probably recommend you to come in the spring or the summer, because this period of time here from now until March, it is very dark and cold here in Denmark. It's not the best time to come here, especially not if you don't like to freeze or get wet. We have a long and dark period here from now on. The sun goes up very late and it goes down very early. So when we get to around mid-December, the sun goes down around 4 o'clock here. And right now we are losing half an hour of the day every week. So it gets darker and darker very fast here in the fall and winter. And then it goes the other way after the 22nd of December. Then the days start to become longer and longer again. Yeah, but January and February are usually very cold months here. Yes, so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of Denmark, and maybe you will have found inspiration to come here soon. You are more than welcome, and I will be happy to invite you here. So have a good night, have a good sleep, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.